Okay. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Trippin with Tim podcast. We're a travel podcast. I'm Timothy Tyndale, franchise owner with American Express Cruise Planner. I'm here for all your travel needs. I have Miss Kim Riddle here from the Aruba Tourism Board. So we have an official on deck. So what I got to do, Kim, is customary. I got to give you your intro music so we can start off with a bang. All right?
All right.
All right. Tripping with Tim, we in the building. Kim Riddle. You like that, Kim?
I love it. I love it. Thank you so much. Thank you. I appreciate you letting me come on
All
with
right,
you
all
and
right. That's what I'm
spending this
talking about.
time with you. This is great.
That's what I'm talking about. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let me get here on our Facebook podcast on our transmission here, and we're ready to rock and roll.
Thank you.
All right. On our all right. Can you hear me? And we're ready to rock and roll. Thank you. Kim, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
All right. So Kim, you're with the Aruba Tourism Board. Now, Aruba is one of the most popular islands in the Caribbean. Okay, everyone loves Aruba. The people who have been to Aruba want to go back,
Yes.
and you're a part of such a fantastic island. Tell us a little bit about your career, how you've gotten to this place, and what makes your journey so special.
Yeah. I mean, I'm blessed. I really am blessed. I've been in the travel industry since I got started basically out of college here. So I've been around for a long time. I started as a tour operator, which for those of you out there who do not know what that is, I was working for a company that was one of the brochures on travel agency shelves back in the day when there were brochures. Now that we're all going brochureless and paperless, things are changing. But I was working for one of those companies that all of these travel advisors would call to book the packages. And so I did that for many years. I worked for a couple of different companies, small mom and pop companies, each of which were selling Caribbean destinations. Aruba was one of those. And the last company I worked for merged with another company, and I was lost in the merge. Oh my goodness. I had 9-month-old twins. What was I going to do? Plus a 5-year-old at home. And of course, I called Aruba, the tourism board, and said, I'm going to use you as a reference because, here I'm without a job. And they're like, well, wait a second. I need somebody here because the gal who was working there at the time had just put in her resignation. Her husband was transferred to Santa Fe. And so they needed someone, and they knew that I knew the destination. I did great presentations. I knew the agents. Right. And so it was a win-win for all of us. And here I am 25 years later, still working with this one happy island and just having a dream job. So I love it. It's just fantastic. And so, like I said, I'm blessed. The island is blessed because all of the people who come to the island just fall in love with the destination. They get bitten by that Aruba effect that we have throughout the island, and they like to come back time and time again as well.
Wow, that is great. That is great. I'm telling you, it is a great place to travel to. Now, let's address the big elephant in the room. We always have to talk about COVID-19. We seem to be coming out of it. More people are getting vaccinated. More people are able to travel because more people are vaccinated. So, tell us a little bit about what Aruba is doing to fight COVID-19 and the spread of COVID-19, things of that nature.
Yes, Aruba was very proactive at the beginning, because they realized how important tourism is to our livelihood. We are one of the most tourism dependent nations in the world. And so we realized after we opened up our doors again, after being closed for those just a few short months, that we had to do everything that we could to never have to close our borders ever again. And so we made sure that we took every precaution possible to not only protect the tourists coming to the destination, but also to protect our locals on island because we have one hospital. So we cannot, worry, have to worry about, having that overabundance of cases in the hospital and not having any place else to put them. So we had to make sure that we had everything under control and control things with mandates throughout the destination. And that's what we did. So as of this year, in the beginning of March, we were able to completely eliminate all requirements of coming into the destination of having to be tested or having to be vaccinated because everyone on island stepped up to the plate and wanted to be vaccinated and got their booster shots, and kids lining up to have their shots as well. So everyone in Aruba knew how important it is. Now, does that mean that when you get to the island, they have thrown caution to the wind? No, you still have the hand sanitizer stations everywhere. They still ask that you maintain social distancing. You still see the plexiglass barriers everywhere, but you don't have to stay masked up. If you want to wear a mask, you are welcome to wear a mask,
That's
but it's not a requirement. And of course, we welcome everybody, whether you are vaccinated or not, because we have protected our own with their vaccinations. So all are
okay.
welcome in Aruba.
Well, what is the policy of when you're leaving the island? Is there places to get tested and stuff like that?
Great question. Almost every hotel will either have the testing on site, not that it's complimentary, but it's on site for a small fee, either $35 to $50, or there's going to be testing within walking distance. And many of our locations, the labs are open all the way until 9:30, 10 o'clock at night. And so while you're out and about doing your activities in the evening, you're shopping, you're dining, you're hitting the casinos, you can still pop in and get tested, no appointment needed, and your test results are back within 30 minutes. And so it's great, it's easy and very convenient and economical too. So definitely keep that in mind.
Oh, that's great. That um, I know you guys have exclusive resorts on the island. Uh, and a lot of people, when they go to Aruba, they don't really stay at the all inclusive for some reason. There are a lot there. Tell us a little bit about the variety between the all inclusives and some of the other hotels and
Oh
resorts.
yeah. And that is so true. I mean, we do have 5 properties that are fully all inclusive. We have 6 additional properties that have an optional all inclusive. But because of the fact that we have 400 restaurants on a tiny 70 square mile island, now put that into perspective, we're smaller than Manhattan. We're about the size of Cozumel, and we do have 400 restaurants on that tiny 70 square mile island. So, for having so many options for dining, even if you do an all inclusive, you will go off property and dine a couple of nights while you're there. So, for example, across the street from Barcelona, which is all inclusive, when you walk out the front door, and I mean outside across the street, it's a 2 lane road. And it's not a busy road. It's easy to cross the street there. You're not going down a long drive like you do in some of these other destinations with the all inclusives. It's a 2 lane road. It's a parking lot with 2 lane road. And then you've got your shops and restaurants and all of that across the street. So across the street, you've got open air dining and you've got restaurants. There are 5 restaurants across the street with open air dining. The menus are outdoors. They have early bird dining. Now we're a Dutch island. So early bird means you have your menu by 6:30 or 7 o'clock. You haven't ordered, you just have your menu. So you can do a 3 course meal at Tango, Argentinian steaks for $22.99. You can do Dragonfly, which is Asian, for around $19.99, or Fish and More, which is your seafood. They've got all these different restaurants right there, economical for a 3 course meal. And so people are seeing these prices and they're seeing the menus and they're like, all right, we're going to try this tomorrow night. And they go out because they're smelling the food, and it's like a Pied Piper luring them to come across the street. And they do. And we have so many funky, cool bars that people want to try out, with all the molecular drinks, putting the dome over and having all of that types of fun as you're
That's
drinking.
exciting.
It's not just watching a bartender shake it up and here's your drink, but having the fun with your drink. So people like to go out and have a drink or two as well. Plus we've got bar hopping tours, and we've got your culinary tours where they take you to 4 fine dining restaurants all at one evening, and a sommelier is with you, and so you have a sample signature dish at each location and a glass of wine at each location, and they talk to you about the pairing of the food and the wine, and Tim can book this for you, and it is such an incredible experience. My favorite tour in Aruba, and I don't even drink wine, so it's an incredible
What,
experience.
you
I
don't
mean,
drink wine? You don't drink wine? Are you like a Henny girl?
no, I drink my spirits. I start with the champagne, and they start you off with champagne, and I drink the champagne. But then afterwards, when it comes to the wine, it's like everyone's like, "Oh, do I get your drink? Do I get that glass of wine, Kim? Do I get that glass of wine?" And people love to be by me.
Well, I have a question from the audience on Facebook. Besides the beaches, what other local shops do you recommend? Local sites?
Oh, as far as sites and things to do, oh, there are so many things. I mean, if you are, into culture, go down to San Nicolas, the street art, like what's behind me. This year, we're going to have our 5th installment of the Street Art Festival, where artisans from around the world have been painting these murals on 2-story buildings, and it is alive with art down there. You can either do a tour of it or just walk the streets on your own and see this magnificent city alive with art. It is amazing down there. While you're in San Nicolas, you can hit Baby Beach, which is one of the local beaches, which is a beautiful beach area. Right next to Baby Beach is Rogers Beach, which is almost secluded. You could almost have that beach to yourself because not many people go to Rogers Beach, or even stop in Savannetta at, again, I like to talk food, at Zay Rovers, where they bring in the local catch, and you can eat fish or shrimp by the pound caught right off of the boats, and they
Wow.
fry it up. It is so delicious, yummy goodness. Fantastic. If you are more of the person who likes to do the exploration across the island itself, go off-roading, do a Jeep tour, and go where the tour buses cannot take you, and really explore the island, see the natural pool or Blackstone Beach, and just really have that opportunity to explore the destination itself. Maybe stop at the Donkey Sanctuary, or some of your stops could go to the Murano glass blowing factory. So many places you can go to throughout the destination. If you're into water activities, snorkeling, one of our many rec sites that we have throughout the island. We are the top rec diving destination in the Caribbean, and many of those sites are shallow enough that you can snorkel them as well. So the scuba diving and the snorkeling is incredible, and you can even snorkel from shore. You don't even have to go out on a trip, but the snorkel trips are fantastic. Driving is easy in Aruba. I know Tim keeps trying to get a word in edgewise, but I'm so quick.
But
He just
you're
can't.
good. You're going good. You're going good. Now, you skipped over one thing that I wanted to talk about.
Yeah.
Aruba is one of the premier destinations for shipwrecks. You
Yes.
guys have a lot of boats in the water from World War II, and
Yes.
people get to snorkel down, scuba down, and check out these really amazing shipwrecks in the ocean. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, the 400-foot German freighter that was scuttled during World War II. It's the second largest wreck in the Caribbean, and you divers can penetrate the hull, but it's on a slope. So part of it is right at the surface of the water. So snorkelers can have this incredible sight. As soon as the snorkel trips, snorkel boats, the catamarans or like the Jolly Pirates come up and they park out there and they anchor, as soon as you put your mask in the water, it's right underneath you. And it is an incredible snorkel site to go to. really recommend that you go out there and see this, because a lot of people, and you go to these destinations and you see the coral and all of that, the reef and everything, but you come to Aruba and you see all these different wrecks, and that's what adds to it. Because yes, we've got the coral and we've got the reefs, but when you add in that wreck component, it's amazing.
Wow, that is great. That is great. And before we go on, I want to give some shout outs to people who are on and viewing. Francine Lee, We Fung Chang Tyndale, you know I love you, baby. Jay Ski, uh, David Allen is on. Richard McDonald is on. Mahendra, Jermaine is on. Thank you, God, for tuning in. We really appreciate it. Now, I'm a big Scarface fan. I don't know if you watched the movie Scarface with Al Pacino, but it's a part on there when he's loving the flamingos, he's loving the pelicans. He's like, pelican, flamingos, fly, fly, fly. In Aruba, there's actually a
Oh,
flamingo beach. Tell us about the flamingo beach.
we have both of those. Our we've got the brown pelicans everywhere, so you're going to see pelicans all over the island, and the flamingos, you will find them in two locations. If you stay at Renaissance has their own private island, and you can actually see the flamingos and feed the flamingos. They will eat out of your hand on Renaissance Island. So at Renaissance, you get to have that close-up experience. So not only have the picture taken with the flamingos, but actually feed and get personal and really get, you know, in with them, So those Instagram moments, Renaissance Island. And, consider doing, if you're like, well, I didn't really want to stay in town, which staying in town, there's some great things about it, because you get those authentic experiences being there in town. There's a speakeasy in town. They do an all inclusive there at the Renaissance. There's some great opportunities there, but you might even want to consider doing a split stay. So part of your stay at the Renaissance and then moving to the Palm Beach area or the Eagle Beach area. And that still might be an option for you if you're saying, well, I'd really like to be at another resort, but that guarantees you the opportunity to go out to Renaissance Island. So that's one place. And then at De Palm Island, they have brought in some flamingos out there too, because they know that people are always wanting to go see the flamingos. And you can go out to De Palm Island, even off of a cruise, and see the flamingos, but you can't feed them. So they do keep them a little bit further away. They're not as far back as like in a zoo, but you can't get right up and touch them like you can at Renaissance Island. So it is just a little bit different in that regards, just because more people go out to De Palm Island because the cruise ships all go out there and things like that. It would just be too overwhelming for people to get that close to them. So they do make people stay back just a tiny bit, but you can definitely have them in your background with the pictures and everything, but you just can't touch and feed them. So keep that in mind. If there's a difference that you're wanting to have that experience, the difference between those two islands.
Now, what is the best month weather-wise to travel to Aruba? Because we don't want to go there and get rained out every day.
Any month of the year. Aruba does
Really?
not have a rainy season. We are outside of the
Wow.
hurricane belt. We only get 16 inches of rainfall a year. So
Hold
you're
on.
not
Hold
going to have a
on. This is
bad
a
weather
major.
month.
This is a major situation here. Let's back up.
Hmm.
Viewers, there is no bad time to go to Aruba. There is no
Weather-wise.
hurricane season. That's unheard of. That's unheard of. Go ahead, continue.
Exactly.
I didn't know that.
Only three islands are not in the hurricane belt: Aruba, Bonaire, and Curacao. So
Wow.
those three islands, the ABCs, are in perfect location for travel any time of the year. And we're so close to the equator that you always have warm weather, water, and air temperatures. So you're not going to have to worry about a cold snap during the middle of winter. You don't have to worry about any of that. And we have these constant trade winds that are keeping the island temperatures in the mid 80s. It keeps the rain clouds away. It keeps the humidity relatively low. It keeps the pesky bugs away. The mosquitoes, you don't have a problem with those in the evenings. So it really makes it an ideal travel destination any time of the year. So definitely keep us in mind, for anything, if you are looking price wise, obviously the entire Caribbean, from Christmas till Easter is high season, then from Easter till Christmas is low season. So it depends on if you're looking
Christmas.
price. Mhm.
Let's repeat that. From
Yes,
Christmas to
until Easter. So roughly December 19 until, depending on when Easter falls every year, that can shift either in March or April. So whenever Easter falls, until that Easter time frame is going to be your high season.
okay.
And then after Easter, the week after Easter, the prices drop to low season, and then it stays low season until December 19th.
Right, because that's very important because if you do research on all the other islands, Aruba is one of the most expensive islands. Now,
It is.
how can we travel to Aruba on a budget? Like, what do you advise the viewers to do there that you can save a couple of dollars here and there?
Yeah. And it's usually the airfare is the high thing getting to Aruba. And right now everyone's catching up with us. Have you seen the prices to some of these other islands right now? So we're all in the same pricing with that. Your hotel accommodations will be a bit higher. We're going to be pricing along the lines of a Puerto Rico, the St. Martin, the Cayman Islands, so we're in that ballpark. You can never price us up against a Jamaica or Dominican Republic. And if you even think going there, no, you're going to have to. Those destinations are one price range. We're a whole different bucket.
Right,
But yeah, but you can easily do Aruba on different price points. If you've got the larger families, you can do the condos. There's condo properties that have the kitchens, and not saying you have to cook by all means. I don't want to cook when I'm at home. I don't want to cook on vacation. So it's definitely ways that though you can save in that regards because you've got breakfast in. You can have the snacks in. You can have those little nibbles and things like that. Or just if you're buying the liquor bottle and you're something about having a mixed drink, it helps that sun to go down a little easier. Almost every hotel room, I mean, every property faces the west. So most of our hotel rooms as well will have some type of a view of the water. And so again, you're sitting on your balcony watching the sunset. It's
that's
amazing. You don't have to go anywhere. You know right where you're going to be at sunset. You walk out to the beach or you go down to the pool or people are having dinner with their feet in the sand or it's just so easy. But we've got and I can share this with Tim as well. We've got again 400 restaurants on island. There's a pricing and flavor for everyone. We've got food trucks, we've got the local restaurants. Do you think the locals are dining out at the tourist restaurants every night? uh-uh there's all those restaurants as well, and not saying that they're any different in quality wise. They're just less expensive. That Zayrowers I was mentioning where the local fishermen bring in the fresh catch and you order fish or shrimp by the pound. My colleague from Boston, the two of us had lunch there one day on a Saturday, and the two of us together dined for a total of $15.50.
really
Uh-huh. Yeah, exactly. You're not gonna
wow.
find that in the resort area.
Yeah, that's cheaper than a bacon, egg, and cheese on Rockaway and Livonia in Brooklyn.
Exactly, right? So you can find the locations, and that's where we're here to help Tim out, to help you find those locations to go to. And that's what a travel advisor, how they are separating themselves from the Expedias out there or these OTAs out there because they don't have us to
Right,
direct them.
right. And they can't call Expedia. They can call
Ex-
me. They can wake me up in the
Exactly.
middle of the night. They can do that.
We hope they don't do that,
But
but
they,
exactly.
they do it all the time. They do it all the time. Now, I have a question from Jermaine Jones on Facebook. He said, "What about casinos in Aruba?"
Oh, we've only got 11. Um, 3 of those are 24 hours a day.
Wow.
So yes, all the games you can imagine, and yes, Ultimate Bet still plays their poker tournament in Aruba. So got all the games you can imagine, all the table games, the slots, the sports books. You've got it. It's there. So
Well,
gaming,
that's the big
gambling,
draw these days. Everyone
it
wants
is.
to play. Everyone.
Exactly. Everyone. And with Aruba, the casinos are not owned by the hotels. So they are privately owned, but they're in a hotel. So a lot of them will have access from the outside as well as the inside. And so people are jumping in and out of the different properties up and down the strip in Palm Beach. So you can be staying at the Ritz Carlton and you could be walking into the Hyatt, you could be going into the Rio, you could be going into, you know, Barcelo, all of these different properties to experience the casinos. So just because you're staying at one property doesn't mean you wouldn't walk into another property to go to their casino. And somebody might say, wait a second, you just said Rio, but that's an all inclusive. Can you go in an all inclusive property if you're not staying there? In Aruba, you can. You know,
Really?
at their casino, you bet you can. So it's because, again, it's not owned by the property. So you can walk in their front door and go straight to the casino and not a problem. So this is, again, how it shows Aruba is a different type of a destination altogether.
Now, moving around the island, I have a question by David Allen. He wants to know Ubers and Lyfts there. Can you get around like that, or is it just like taxis? What is it?
Lots of options besides those. We protect the drivers in Aruba, so there are no Ubers and Lyft. But there's plenty of cabs around. The public bus is $3, and I think it's what, 3.25 one direction, $5 round trip, and that runs every 30 minutes. And it's real easy to hop around on the public bus transportation. The cabs are fixed and rated, are fixed, and the rates are fixed by the government, so you don't have to worry about, oh, what price is it going to be now. After
Right.
midnight it goes up $3, and on a week, on a not weekend, on a Sunday it's $3 higher, as well as a holiday. But other than that, it is one price. What you paid going one way, you're going to pay the same thing coming back, so you don't have to worry about that. You drive on the right hand side of the road, so rent a car through Tim. He can, easily, if you're going to get around a lot, get a car for maybe a day, get a car for 2 days, go to some of those locations that's further out, like Zay Rovers, or make it a Jeep so you can see the island and not maybe do the actual tour. But every car rental company will give a drive yourself tour, and Maps ME works as a GPS in Aruba without data. And so you're not having to utilize your data as you're going around the island, and it's a GPS system. And so it's a great way to actually see the destination on your own. It shows you all those key highlights that the island has to offer, whether you're going to the natural bridge or, the rock formations, wherever you like to go, the donkey sanctuary, ostrich farm. It'll show you where everything's at. And so it's real easy to do.
Well, that's amazing. We have a NOAA reunion just tuned in, and they love Aruba and they love the Barcelo.
Yes. Yeah, great location. Right there on Palm Beach. Palm Beach is that active location. You can walk to 105 dining outlets, shopping that's open till 10 o'clock at night. I mean, 3 shopping malls, shopping strips. It is just an adrenaline junkie's paradise. 80% of our nightlife is right there. It is such a great location. And my favorite dessert food truck is like almost right across the street from that. I love it.
Oh yeah, what's the name of the food truck so we can go there?
I don't know.
You can't
It's a
tell?
little. I don't.
Oh, you
Yeah.
don't know?
Well, it's a Dutch name, and I'm horrible about Dutch names because there's too many consonants and not enough vowels in there. But our in Aruba we have dessert. We have Dutch pancakes, which are like crepes, but they're real thin, and for breakfast they're the size of a plate. Well, the dessert ones are like silver dollar size, and so this dessert food truck, you get 6 of them and you put any toppings that you want on it. So you can have strawberries and chocolate and whipped cream, or Nufachel, or, nuts, or whatever you like. It is amazing and so delicious. Yeah, it's great.
Now, Aruba, everyone says Virginia is for lovers, New York City is for lovers, Paris is for lovers, but Aruba is too. Well, where can we go for the romance, for honeymoons, things of that nature? where do you suggest guys go for a romantic time in Aruba?
Yeah, I mean, Aruba hits every checkbox with that, with Aruba. When it comes to romance, if you're wanting to, pop a question, those restaurants with your toes in the sand, like Passions on the Beach, or Aruba Ocean Villas has Old Man in the Sea, which that's our overwater bungalows. You've got, the very first toes in sand, tables in the water, flying fishbone, we've got about 20 venues where you can dine with your feet in the sand. So,
Wow.
I mean, that's amazing. And then we've got companies like Picnic Aruba or Aruba Bell Tent Experience that can set up all of these fantastic experiences for you on the beach, which are really romantic. And then if you're really into doing something special, every year in August, we have Aruba I Do. And this
Wow.
is an event that we've been doing. This will be our fourth year to do it, and I'm excited because I get to go this year. I just found out, and it's for it's renewing your vows. It's a mass wedding vow renewal. It's complimentary. You just have to be in Aruba the week that we're doing it. We pick you up at at your hotel. We bring you to the venue site. We have flowers for all the brides. We have champagne. We have like 6 different props that are set up that you can have your picture taken in front of them. It's on Eagle Beach, which has been named the number 3 best beach in the Caribbean, number 5 best beach in the world. There's an officiant there that will perform the ceremony. It is just a fantastic time to be in Aruba and to recommit yourself to the one that you love. And again, it's free. It's called Aruba I Do, and you just register on aruba.com/I-do. And that is August 12th. So keep that in mind for anyone who wants to come down and partake in that. Book with Tim your vacation time during that, and then you can register to partake in the activities.
So viewers, Aruba I Do is in August. It's an event in Aruba where if you've been married for a while, you guys want to renew your vows, you can go out to Aruba and renew your vows for free. Champagne on the beach. It's amazing. And Kim, that is a great, great program. I know a lot of people are going to take advantage of that.
It is, it really is. I mean, the last year we did it, obviously, was just before the pandemic. We had a little honeymoon couple that was on island, and they renewed their vows. They were like, "We've been married 4 days and we're renewing our vows." It was so cute.
Oh, that is beautiful. Now, another thing, you know, uh, one of the biggest travel fantasies out of a lot of people is to stay in those overwater bungalows, and Maldives is really known for that. I
Yes.
don't know if they pioneered it, but they're very famous for the overwater bungalows. Now, Aruba is one of the places that have it here, where you don't have to fly 20 hours to Maldives. Tell us a little bit about the overwater bungalows
Mhm.
in Aruba, and how special they are.
They are amazing. The owner is an artist. She puts her heart and soul and personality into every single unit. So she actually decorates each one and names each one after somebody she knows. And so it's a very small property. So it's not cookie cutter like some of these other properties may be. So it really has a lot of character and charm to it. And like I said, each one is going to be different. So when you are looking on their website, you're actually looking at each individual unit as far as availability and which one you're wanting to go after. So they've got 3 different types of units as far as beachside units. The original overwaters, which are old world Tahitian style, and then their penthouse units, which are their new modern. Wow. You just can't say
Wow,
enough. Wow.
well, that's enough
Um,
for me.
yeah, exactly. Ours were the very first overwater bungalows in the Caribbean. And so they've been around for quite a while, and she's just slowly been adding on. But it's like I said, it's very small. When everything is finished, because they're just now adding on these additional penthouse units, when everything is finished, there'll be a total of 15 units.
Wow. Now I
Yeah.
have a question. I have a question about boat people. Are you familiar with what boat people are? Have you ever
As
heard of it?
as far as like yachters or
I
what?
don't know. He says he about the boat people. I don't know. It's an odd question, but he says something about boat people and problems with boat people. I don't know. Let's skip that one. I don't know what that one is about. But children. A lot of people bring their kids out there on vacation. What are some of the good things to do for the kids?
Oh, all different ages again with kids. I mean, because of the fact that, it is that safe destination and we don't have, the beach bending in Aruba, you don't have a lot of wave action. So it's not the undertows or the waves knocking kids over in the water. So it's ideal for that. And our sand does not retain the heat during the middle of the day. So you're not burning your feet or kids aren't burning their bums. So it's perfect for the beach conditions. But we've got, as far as your activities, to Palm Island, which has your water slide parks. You've got your um, Phillips Animal Garden, which is like an oversized petting zoo. There's 70 different types of species, and your admission comes with 2 bags of feed. So not only does it help Philip to feed all of the animals he has there, but it also, lets you engage with all the different animals as well. We've got the ostrich farm and the butterfly farm. Your admission at the butterfly farm is good for the full duration of your stay. So go early in your trip so that you can go back multiple times while you're there, because your experience at different times of the day will be different. In the morning, the butterflies, the chrysalises are just hatching, and the moths will be more active in the afternoons. And so definitely you're going to have a different experience the different times of the day. And then, of course, you've got the ostrich farm. So, when it comes to flora and fauna, there's always different experiences that you can have. And then if you've got little ones who like to climb, we've got the rock formations and all of that. They just love going out throughout the destination and being able to snorkel and climb on the rocks and, just all of that off-roading and everything else. It's great for the kids. So a lot of different activities.
Wow, that's amazing. It sounds like the kids will have a lot of fun.
Yeah, definitely.
Now, with the scuba diving and the shipwrecks, do you guys actually have classes there where people can get certified to go scuba diving? How does that work?
Most certainly. Most of the resorts, can hook you up with the different dive operators. Red Sail Sports is right there on island, which is one of the better known dive operators. JADS, all of these others, they can easily pick you up, take you out for the resort courses. Some of them do them on properties. Otherwise they'll arrange where they have everything taken care of. And yeah, people love to take a resort course when they're on vacation, see what it's like. When you're at De Palm Island, I love referring back to them because I love De Palm Island. They have a helmet dive. And so you can always upgrade to a helmet dive. When you're at De Palm Island, almost everything is included except for Sea Track. So the snorkeling, the food, the beverage, including the alcohol, the water slides, all of that, the banana boats, they're all included. But you can upgrade to the Sea Trek, which is your helmet dive, where you walk 20 feet below the surface of the water. You just walk and breathe. And we can all do
So
that,
you
right?
mean
Well,
you
most of us can do that.
helmet on?
They put a helmet down on your head. You climb down a ladder and you just walk on the sea floor. 7 people at a time are doing this, and you've got a scuba diver that's down there with you. And so he's feeding fish right in front of you. You've got another diver who is videoing you while you're doing this as well. So you have you can always purchase the video. I guess it's not videos anymore, but yeah, you get the imagery and everything. And so, but yeah, so he's taking the pictures, and you've got all of this, and it's just a great um, opportunity for you to get that experience of the underwater world without going through a resort course or taking that step of actually doing the scuba diving. Ages 8 to 80 can do that, and it's a an incredible experience. I've done that multiple times and I love, love, love that. Someone like me, I'm more comfortable doing that just because of my contacts and everything. I just know having to do the mask and having to take that off and clean that and everything. I always have difficulties just snorkeling. For me, snorkeling, I have to have the full face snorkel mask. And so I know having that whole helmet on my head is much better for me.
Wow. Okay, that is great. And Miss Wei Feng Cheng Tyndale asked about the some local sites that you would recommend other than the beaches.
Yeah, well, we covered some of that, some of the local, like the down in San Nicolas, definitely very local. That's a very Caribbean local town. Going down there, extremely local, where the murals and all of that are going to be. Head that direction, and hit some of that authentic spots in that area. Go
Right.
into the Mango Halto locations. Savaneta is another where Zay Rovers is located. That little city is very authentic, very local. You're going to see a lot in that area, but definitely hitting into places like that. Down by the Io rock formations, that's where the Murano glass blowing factory is at. And this is a city that has moved to Aruba, and their heritage is from the whole Murano family from Italy. And so they've brought this tradition with them. And so just, hang this all these locations that are like this, you're hanging with locals. It's not just the touristy spots. And what's great about going into places like this is you get to interact with the locals. And everybody in Aruba speaks a minimum of 4 languages: English, Spanish, Dutch, and Papiamento. They have to graduate from high school. And it's not uncommon for one to speak a fifth or sixth language because there's 6 languages in Papiamento. And so we love it when people do engage with the locals, and that's when you're really going to get more out of your stay. When you start those engagements with the locals, you're really going to get more of that Aruba effect, more of falling in love with the destination, and you're going to want to return, because those people who have been to the destination time and time again, they come back to the island not just because of the destination or the resorts. It's they're looking back up those friends that they've made in Aruba. And the Arubans, they remember you and they know you by name. And, even though they see all these other people, they will still remember details about you. And it blows my mind how well they remember these things. But again, it goes back to it's their livelihood, and it's instilled from such a young age, and it's genuine hospitality. And that is something that when you're on vacation, you treasure and you want that. And it's great. It just makes for such a wonderful vacation.
Yes, it really sounds like that. Now, a lot of people are going to be coming from America, a lot of the viewers. How far does the dollar stretch there?
Everything is priced in the US dollars. They give you change back in whatever you pay with. So,
So the
yeah,
dollar is the currency.
the Aruban florin is the local currency. They only accept the Aruban florin and the US dollar. The Aruban florin is fixed and tied to the US dollar. And so the US dollar equals $1.78 in Aruba.
Oh, okay. So the dollar stretches a little bit over there.
Exactly. Yeah. And so even if, as we're watching things right now, if our US dollar tanks as we head into, God forbid, a recession,
Wow.
then recession, depression, whatever it may be, we don't have to worry about, because it will always still equal the same thing in Aruba. And
Wow.
so because it's fixed and tied to the US dollar.
Well, that is great, man. That is great. And we have Bishop Darrell Hill is online. Thank you for tuning in. Alifa Anderson, Miss Siobhan Cotier is in. Thank you guys for tuning in. And Miss Kim, you have been an amazing guest. You have been so knowledgeable and so excitable about what you guys have going on in Aruba. It has been a pleasure having you on.
I appreciate you inviting me, and I appreciate everybody joining. And, you've got the guy here who can book it for you. So give him a call. Let him send you to that one happy island. We'd love to see you in Aruba.
Okay. All right, Kim. And it was great to have you on. And again, I'm going to be talking to you guys because I definitely want to come out. I want to shoot live from Aruba, and you guys can show me around some of these sites we've talked about so that all the viewers can actually see us there and talking to the locals and getting a local feel.
Sounds fantastic.
All right. Thank you, Kim, so much. And we have to send you out with your going away music. Let's not forget about that.
Gotta do it.
Let's see if we can get this going again. All right, let's see. All right. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for coming on, Kim. It's been great. And I'll talk to you later.
Thank you.
All right.
Hip hop.